Well, welcome back, viewers, subscribers, friends. I'm off on a little bit of an adventure today. I'm taking the trike back for the first time ever to the selling dealer. It's located in Kodak, Tennessee. It's a 50-mile one-way ride. That's probably one of the reasons I haven't been back. It's too far away. But this is a very interesting time, and my warranty is about to run out, and I still have a couple of unresolved issues. One of which, of course, is the code that it's throwing, and the other is the driveline noise. And it may be that noise is just the way these machines are. Between belt harmonics and straight cut gears in the transmission, maybe what I have is what I'm gonna keep. But I wanted them to go over it and make sure everything's okay before the warranty runs out. So here I go, I'm on my way. Should be a good ride, it's a beautiful day. I have somebody on my 6 that's going to bring me home if I have to leave the bike over for a while, which I'm pretty positive that I will. Whoa, big tractor trailer, do not run me over. This is a really dangerous intersection on Tennessee 444 onto US 321. The run-up lane is too small, and you have to completely turn your head around if you're going to see the oncoming traffic, unless you happen to catch a glimpse of it as you're approaching the ramp. But it historically has been the scene of a lot of accidents. And the last thing in the world I want is to be run over by a tractor trailer. I imagine most of you feel the same way. This particular intersection is called Dixie Lee. Now, if I were to continue straight on US 11, I would be in Knox County, out of Loudoun County. And right over the border was the Dixie Lee liquor store. And when we first moved here, Loudoun was a totally dry county. No liquor stores. You couldn't get a beer with your meals. Nothing. And I think in spite of the influence of the Bible thumpers, people started to realize that if restaurants are going to stay in business, they're going to have to be able to serve alcohol. I'm all for that. My favorite restaurant, which was a Mexican restaurant, went down the tubes because it was located too close to a school or a church or something, and it went out of business. Well, here's what we're going to be dealing with. P0550. I don't know what that means. And the message that I got is check DPS, which I later found out means dynamic power steering. As far as what P05, or whatever it was, means, I really don't know, because an OBD2 reader does not connect to this system. They use the BUD system, which I certainly don't have enough reason to go out and buy a reader for that, and I don't even know how easy it would be to find one. But anyway, check DPS and the little yellow light, caution light, is all you get in the way of warning. But I found out doing a little research that if you hold down on the set, the mode, and the turn signal cancel simultaneously, the active codes will display. Now, once you turn the ignition key off, that disappears and you can't do it. I am told that those codes will be stored in the computer, and when they check it, I hope they'll be able to pull them up and see that I'm not fooling. I really am getting these codes. but we'll see. Anyway, short little run here on Watt Road, and I will be on Interstate 40/75. The two join at a certain point, run together through the city of Knoxville. And now we're going to bring out the old machine a little bit, see how the pickup is, see how the traffic is flowing, and hopefully there won't be any accidents that bring me to a dead stop. That happened to the Sweet Bride and I when we were on our way to Memphis, actually coming home from Memphis about a week or two ago, when the lane had narrowed down, or the highway had narrowed down to one lane, and as it turned out, it was not an accident at all, but some kind of construction thing they were doing. Man, that can really make a long drive longer when you have to deal with that sort of thing. I hope I have a good experience with Mountain Motorsports. It's a dealership that actually has several locations. And as I think I mentioned, I'm on my way to Kodak, Tennessee. It's exit 407 off of I-40. It's the same exit that you would go to go to Smoky Stadium, which is a farm club for the Chicago Cubs. Used to be a farm club for the Marlins, but somehow the Cubs picked them up. The games there are usually pretty good, and especially on the weekends they have a lot of good entertainment for kids, and families come, and I think there's a Monday night thing where they have like $1 hot dogs, and pretty darn good stuff. The dealership sells lots of different makes besides Can-Ams. I mean, Can-Ams like we ride, and the four-wheel Can-Ams, but I also see in the showroom Hondas, Suzuki's, Kawasaki's, and they apparently have a Ducati franchise, and KTM. I was just recently reading an article in the American Motorcyclist magazine. I'm a life member of AMA, and they had a guy that had been driving through Europe, I guess it was, and on an adventure bike, and it was the KTM. It was like a 1290 or something like that. So I got to see one of those up close and personal, and it struck me as being a very tall motorcycle, which I guess adventure bikes often are, and pretty expensive also. I think it was up around 18 grand. If that's your thing, fine. That's probably for somebody that likes the adventure riding style. It's probably a great bike, and I understand Can-Am really builds a good one. I've never owned one. I don't think I know anybody that does own one, but if you do and care to comment on them, by all means, please do. One of the things I'm hoping that I find is that I'm not going to have a lot of downtime here. I've heard horror stories about sometimes taking weeks or even months for Can-Am to get parts. I hope there's nothing like that with this, because I think other than these little glitches, I think the machine is fine. It's given me excellent service, and I sure do love riding it. And great weather is upon us, hot though it may be, and I know every day that I can't get out and ride is a day that I've lost. I know how it is. I feel for great rides and the long stretches he's had without his bike, and where it stretches out into months. Oh, wow. I don't know. He said he was liking to go crazy waiting for the thing to get done and then wondering if it's going to be done correctly or not. Well, we'll see. One of my club members who owns a Can-Am as well as a regular two-wheeled motorcycle, I think it's Harley Davidson, said that one of the biggest problems with Can-Am is that the BRP does not give the dealers the support that they really need to function well. And that's sad, because something like that could really torpedo the success of the business, and certainly Can-Am trikes. Well, I'll have more to say after I've talked with the service manager, and maybe I'll drop a comment myself down after I've gotten back home and had a chance to put this video together and just see what it looks like it's going to be like. Naturally, while I'm waiting for the verdict about my machine as to, like, am I going to have to leave it, which I guess is a virtual certainty, I'll be wandering around the showroom and checking all the things they have, particularly what they have in the way of new Can-Am Spyders, the 2019 models. I think that there probably won't be any really big surprises. I hope to get to see a Riker up close and personal so I could kind of eyeball that and see what I think of it. I really have nothing against Rikers. I don't know that if they had been an option 2 years ago, if it would have been something I would have seriously considered or not. They're probably really neat bikes. The videos I've seen of them say that they look like, and demonstrate really that they must be a lot of fun to ride. Well, I don't know. Different strokes for different folks. I think the F3 is just great for me. I continue to be very pleased with it. I enjoy it every time I ride it. And I know that those of you that have Can-Ams, trikes, F3s, or RTs, or whatever, I'm sure you like them every bit as much as I do. Still have a little ways to go. Traffic's fairly light, but it is kind of a long way to go to a dealership. There is one closer, but I haven't been real thrilled with the interactions I've had with them. Well, let's see what we find out at the dealership. There's a Riker. And boy, when I look at it up close, it sure looks small. And there is a new F3. I couldn't get over how reasonably priced it was, about $1,000 less than mine, with the fancy fender, and it came with the SE6 transmission. What's with that?